Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, June 19th, 2018. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. We are in for another hot day today, and George Young from DMV Weather will have a detailed forecast, but the city and the county have both opened up their cooling centers. So if you do not have air conditioning, if you know of a neighbor that does not have air conditioning, you can go to one of the cooling centers. Typically they are the libraries, the Pip Moyer Rec Center in Annapolis, any of the police stations or senior centers are all designated as cooling centers. So if you do need to get relief from the heat, they all will be open today. And with heat comes people wanting to get out on the water, and this year's boating season is off to a horrible start. According to Candy Thompson, a spokesperson for the Maryland Natural Resources, she says, "We have had 9 boating fatalities so far this year, which ties last year's total." Now, mind you, we're just in the beginning of June, so we're just getting started with this year's boating season. She said that they average about 13 fatalities a year, and they are very concerned that they are approaching the average this early in the season. Thompson did note that none of the victims were wearing life jackets. And looking back into history, since 2013, there have been 82 boating fatalities, and only 9 of them were wearing life jackets. Statistics don't lie, so if you are out on the water, please wear your life jacket. The city of Annapolis is conducting an emergency active assailant exercise on Friday at 10 a.m. at the St. Mary's School campus on Duke of Gloucester Street. They will have the Office of Emergency Management as well as the police and fire departments, and it will simulate a multi-department response to an active assailant incident, and it's one of many training activities that they do throughout the year. Duke of Gloucester Street from Green Street to Compromise Street will be closed from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., and a detour will be set up to route traffic down Green Street. It will take place at various locations throughout the school campus, and residents should be aware that real-life sights and sounds may be seen and heard, which means they're going to be firing guns and sirens and police cars and fire trucks. Don't worry about it if you see it happening around St. Mary's on Friday between 10 and 11 a.m. If you were one of the unfortunate people that got screwed over when ITT Technical Institute went belly up back in 2016, there is good news for you. The Maryland Department of Higher Education has your official academic transcripts available to them. It's been after a 2.5-year legal battle, but they were able to get them from the school out of bankruptcy, and they estimate that 850 Maryland students were attending ITT campuses at the time of the closure. If you were a student there and you're looking for your official transcript, you can go to the Maryland Higher Education Commission's website at mhec.maryland.gov. And the Maryland Department of Higher Education Secretary James Fielder said, along with obtaining the transcripts, we have invited our Maryland institutions to participate in a teach-out agreement which allows students to continue their studies and carry their credits to other institutions across the state. So that's really helping out those that may have been at ITT Technical. Who wins the Stanley Cup and then leaves the organization 2 weeks later? Barry Trotz has resigned as head coach of the Washington Capitals, and Trotz said in a statement, quote, "After careful consideration and consultation with my family, I am officially announcing my resignation as head coach of the Washington Capitals. When I came to Washington 4 years ago, we had one goal in mind, and that was to bring the Stanley Cup to the nation's capital. We had an incredible run this season, culminating with our players and staff achieving our goal and sharing the excitement with our fans." And it appears that Trotz and the team couldn't come to terms on an annual salary that would have put him in line with the other cup-winning coaches. Apparently, the Capitals offered him about a $2 million salary, but if you look at Toronto, their coach makes $6.25, Chicago makes $6, Montreal is at $5. So he was wildly underpaid, and you can probably kiss the Stanley Cup goodbye for next season. This afternoon, you can join Annapolis Mayor Gavin Buckley and Claire Drapeau, a 7th grader from Crofton Middle School, to lead a pride walk from City Hall to Baroque Restaurant at the Lowe's Hotel. Gets underway at 4 p.m. and it will go down Duke of Gloucester Street, Green Street, around the Market House, back up Main Street to West Street, to Bar Oak. And this is in response to Mayor Buckley's declaring June as the LGBTQ plus Pride Month. And to celebrate that declaration, Claire decided to walk downtown Annapolis distributing rainbow stickers to encourage citizens to support the gay community. Buckley heard about it and invited her to join him in a walk up to Bar Oak. And what's happening up at Bar Oak is that's going to be a planning session for the 2019 Pride Parade, which will be held in June of 2019. While at Bar Oak, Mayor Buckley will also present a proclamation to Jeremy Browning of Annapolis Pride and a citation to Claire as well. That's about it for our top news today. Make sure you check out Eye on Annapolis throughout the day because we do update it consistently, and also look for our predictions on this coming primary season. There are quite a few surprises, and it has caused some conversation. It is pinned to the top of the page. But for now, hang tight. We're going to bring George from DMV Weather, and he's going to bring your local hot and steamy weather forecast.
It's that time of year. Get your summer in gear at East Port Arakan, taking over 2nd Street in Eastport once again from 11 to 8 this Saturday with 37 bands, including Area 301, the Kelly Bell Band, Almighty Senators, the Grilled Lincolns, and more. Enjoy delicious food from local trucks and Annapolis favorites, a super fun kids area, arts and crafts, and wash it all down with a tasty beverage. For tickets and info, visit eastportarakan.com. Proceeds benefit amfm.org and the Annapolis Maritime Museum. See you there.
This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Tuesday, June 19th. As expected, yesterday was a scorcher with temps in the 90s and very humid conditions, and today will be much the same for Annapolis and all of Anne Arundel County, as a frontal boundary separating warmer and cooler air moves into the region from the north, bringing PM rain chances today. And that'll set the stage for daily rain chances for the next several days straight, as the dividing line between two large areas of high pressure, one to the south and one to the north, comes to rest in or very near the skies above, as temps from Wednesday and beyond settle back down into the 80s. Okay, that's it for us today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there, and be sure to follow us anywhere, anytime, either on our website at dmvweather.com or on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on our app, which you can download for free by searching for DC MDVA Weather in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. But always remember, whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
Do you know what your teens are doing this summer? Don't be afraid to ask. The most recent Maryland Safe and Supportive School Survey shows 3/4 of Annapolis high school students say it was fairly or very easy for students in their grade to get alcohol. Underage and binge drinking is very real in Annapolis. If you give them access to alcohol, you're not cool, but you are liable for the outcome. Create a safe environment for your teens and their friends this summer. If they need to talk, listen. If you need to talk, we'll listen. We're here for you and your children. We're ASAP, Annapolis Substance Abuse Prevention. ASAP facilitates healthy community change, prevents and reduces binge drinking, underage drinking, and alcohol-related auto crashes among youth and young adults through locally led collaborations and evidence-based prevention strategies. Visit us at preventsubstanceabuse.org. This message is supported by SAMHSA and the Maryland Behavioral Health Administration.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.